all the people of the village go to the castle, and the beast is really upset that she left. And like, there's like a few petals left. The petals keep falling. When all the petals fall, that means he'll become a beast forever. And the other people will become antiques, and they won't be able to move or talk anymore. So Gaston and them, they're all on their way back to the castle, and they're like singing a song as they go along, which it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. I don't know how I feel about it. I didn't love it. They're like singing a song about killing someone, which I don't like that. I don't think that that should have been a thing, because now kids are gonna be like singing a song about killing someone. I realized that he wasn't killed and that that wasn't the point behind it, but that's what it is. So I didn't really like that. I also didn't like that they made LeFou gay and that he was sort of the bad guy's apprentice, not apprentice, but the bad guy's best friend, like the evil character in the movie. Yeah, I didn't really like that they made the gay character sort of evil per se, but he became good in the end, so that was good. But Belle and Maurice sort of, escape. But Maurice stays? I didn't get that. And I didn't get why they didn't take Belle and Maurice to the asylum already. And, like, I just didn't get that. So they all get in there, and it's, like, super quiet, and they don't see anything. And then LeFou goes up to Mrs. Potts and like, "Oh, you must be the talking teacup and his grandmother." And Mrs. Potts like, "Grandmother? Attack!" Oh man, it was so funny. So they all like attack, and then Gaston just like walks through it, not even really caring. And like, why were the Three Musketeers in this? Did you guys see that? Like, there was like the Three Musketeers in this movie. Was that like a thing in the original movie? Or is this just like a weird added Easter egg that didn't make any sense? Like, the Three Musketeers were in this movie. They had like no lines, but they were like part of the village that was attacking. I didn't get it, why they did that, but it happened, so. Anyways, the wardrobe attacked the Three Musketeers and made them look all pretty, and the other two ran away, and one of them went. And was that the one that was, gay at the end? I didn't really get that. Oh my gosh, was one of the Three Musketeers gay and ended up with LeFou? Is that what happened? Because at the end of the movie, there's this giant dancing scene. I'll get to it in a minute. But Gaston goes and finds the beast and has a gun, is like shooting at the beast. And Belle's like, "Stop it!" And then like Beast is jumping from turret to turret on the castle, and the castle's starting to crumble apart, and Gaston's like going across the little bridge thingies, and Belle's like just standing there, not really doing anything. Which, I mean, there was nothing that she could really do, but she was just like screaming at them. So Mrs. Potts is like ends up flying through the air, and LeFou catches her and is like, "Okay, we have to stop this. Let's go find Gaston and stop him." And she was like, "You're too good for him." And he's like, "Yeah, we're kind of in a bad place right now." I really like that scene. I thought all the scenes that were gay scenes per se were really good. I thought it was really well constructed. The one thing is I think the gayness thing went over at least 40% of the audience's head. So I don't know why it was such a big deal that they were like, "Oh, we can't let our kids see this. It has a gay character in it." It literally probably went over 40% of the audience's heads. Okay, just to let you know. So if you're watching this and you want to see Beauty and the Beast, go see it. It's a good movie. And if you're like afraid to let your kids see it, don't be, because it was like everyone that I've talked to realized it, but I think there was a lot of people who didn't, because in the funny gay scenes, everyone was like, what? I heard people in the movie theater be like, why is he acting so weird? Because this LeFou is really kind of like no different from the original Beauty and the Beast LeFou. And yes, I have not seen the original Beauty and the Beast, but I've talked to people who have. And this was like the exact same character. It was a guy who was like impersonating Gaston and just being all weird per se. I'm not saying that gay people are weird, I'm just saying that he was like copying Gaston and everything. So anyways, Gaston like basically almost kills the Beast, and then I thought it was really weird constructed fight scene. Gaston's just like shooting at Beast, and Beast isn't really like fighting that much. Not that he can because he's getting shot, but I don't get why the Beast didn't die. The Beast got shot like 4 times, and I realized that he's like a really muscular, spellbinded creature. He's not human, and he's not like an animal, so he's like able to not die from that. But I didn't really get why. That wasn't really explained. It wasn't like explained that he had like super strength, and apparently like he can jump like 50 yards from like one turn to like where Belle is, and Belle's like, you can't make it, and he jumps over to her anyways and is like about to die because Gaston already fell off and he's already dead. But I wish they wouldn't have killed him. I wish Gaston, because the Beast is like choking Gaston and is like holding him over. I don't know why I was like that for so long. I was holding him over the edge, and he's like, please, I'll do anything. Please, Beast. And he's like, I'm not a beast, and sets him down on the ground. And then he starts to walk away, and Gaston shoots him again, which was like, Gaston passed up his chance to be a good guy. I would have really liked it if he was good and him and LeFou did end up together. Yeah, that wouldn't have gone over as many people's heads, but I really liked Gaston's character, and I think it didn't really make sense to kill Gaston because the Beast was sort of a bad guy in the beginning too. He was a prince, and he was really selfish and didn't have love in his heart, and he just was like being really mean and brutal and bad. So, and he was given a second chance. So I feel like Gaston should have been able to have a second chance, and I realized that he did, but the Beast had more than second chances. He had a whole entire rose full of petals of chances. And Gaston, I don't feel like Gaston was really given a fair chance. But yeah, I realized he had to die, but I wish they would have made Gaston a good guy when he was dangled over the edge, and I wish he would have been like, I'm sorry, I went too far, blah 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 blah, whatever. I wish he would have like apologized, and then gone to LeFou and apologized, and then him and LeFou have an embrace, and like, I don't know. I would have really liked it. And yes, I realized that would have made Gaston bisexual and not gay, but that would have been fine too, so. That's basically the end. This is basically like the end of the movie. It was like 10 minutes left of the movie. The Beast is like lying there, like basically dead, and then like Belle's like, no, don't go, and then like all the antiques are starting to rust, or not rust, but they're starting to like freeze and not be able to move or talk, which I didn't understand the way they did it. They like did it in a really, really weird way. They made it to like where all the antiques froze except for the main ones, and then like, I don't know, it's just really, really weird the way they did it. The piano, he froze, and the wardrobe lady, she froze, and then Mrs. Potts is like going through and she's like, Chip! And then Chip like is like flying through the air, and the clothes hanger grabs him and sets him down, and then Mrs. Potts, the clothes hanger, and Chip freeze, and then Cogsworth and Lumiere are like talking and like, it's been an honor serving with you, blah blah blah, and then they're like, that's Lumiere. I think it was really, really weird how they did it. I think it could have been done a lot better. but it was still a really good movie. I'm not downing this movie. I thought it was great. I just think it could have been better. If it would have been rated PG-13, because there would have been a lot more that they could have done with it and not have it be so cheesy in some spots, because the kids aren't going to notice it's cheesy. They're going to be like, oh, that's fun, that's cool, that's funny, that's awesome. But there was certain places where it was like, this is weird. this isn't making any sense. But to the kids, it's just like, oh, it's just like, boom. Like, kids have the imagination to make it up themselves. And I'm not saying that we don't have imagination. We just have imagination, but we want something solid to work with when it comes to that. Okay, so the Beast is lying there, and then like she kisses him and says, "I love you," and the Enchantress just shows up randomly. The Enchantress is apparently named Agatha, and like breaks the glass container, but like not like violently. It like dissipates. It like goes, boop, 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 like dissolves. It's like really weird. I don't get it. Why they made it so. Ugh. She rebuilds the flower, which, by the way, looked really cool. The rebuilding of the flower, just the breaking of the glass case. It was just like, like it just like dissolved. It was weird. But then the Beast comes back, turns into a prince, and then Belle's like, "Would you mind growing a beard?" But then they all turn back to human, and all the villagers come, and they're like reunited. One of the main woman in the village that was like with Gaston is with Clogsworth, and then the guy at the beginning who was like, I can't remember what I've forgotten, is reunited with Miss Potts and Chip. But then they're like all reunited. LeFou dances with this guy, and they're like dancing and stuff. But anyways, I thought this movie was really good, and I'm gonna give it a solid B. Yeah, a solid B. I don't think it deserves any better than that. It'd be like an 85 for me. I think there's lots of better movies out there, but I think it was very good. I'm rating it a B. I guess I'll see you guys next time. I hope I get better at these movie reviews. I think this one was pretty good. It was just really long. It's like 20-something minutes long. But I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.